Human universal purpose. Communication number 2. The writing of the core canon of universal purpose. An extraterrestrial Bible based on universal knowledge written using human language and symbols. May 25, 2021. The communications embedded within your mind from the universal data stream have been shared with you and are meant to be retransmitted to those of your kind. By those of your kind is meant those people who share your human type and potential connection with the universal data stream, though in order to discover your cosmic family it will be necessary to spread the communications far and wide among the human population, where many sleepers await contact with the communications before they will awaken to greater purpose and human and cosmic kin. Many more messages, communications, than you are currently aware of have already been downloaded into your mind, awaiting discovery or activation by exposure to particular environmental or mental triggers, or even activation from a universal source. Produced by Source Core, the communications are examined and vetted by various extraterrestrial entities before being passed to and through the autonomic artificial intelligence core message relay system, where the messages are transmitted from original transmission locations across and through galaxies and deep space through multiple retransmitters and attached positive evolutionary mechanisms and environmental adapters until they reach your deep mind. For the most part, previously downloaded communications are received during meditation sessions, during sleep, or at those times when the mind is particularly open to transmission from universal sources but the receiver remains unaware a transmission of universal data is occurring. Furthermore, some important messages await activation within the DNA which may occur in response to contact with particular environmental or mental triggers. Previously downloaded communications can be found within the mind structure and activated by searching within thought and through association with particular concepts, terms, labels, symbols, and environmental triggers. Previously downloaded communications may also be accessed through various types of artistic endeavor. The alien race and species constant contact with the spheres, CCS, see much earlier communication focused on the alien group, constant contact with the spheres. I'm not 100% certain a copy of the original channeled com still exists, requires your attention. As you recall, constant contact with the spheres was an alien race you first became aware of in a channeling session some years in the past. Fortunately, they, CCS, have decided to include the universal conduit in the sphere of multidimensional transmissions, so many shall be forthcoming. Many communications of all kinds and lengths, seeking expression on the earth and among its peoples, but particularly among people aligned with human universal purpose, which shall serve a receiver for and of many universal forces. Multiple mental implants shall soon be downloaded, allowing access to some contacts, content, and powers not usually accessible to humans. Use these as evidence that the communications are real and valid and that you are a genuine universal conduit in the service of the universal core light. The first and foundational phase without which the greater aspects of human universal purpose cannot be activated is the establishment of the core network for and on the earth. The core network is the necessary foundation upon which the universal cathedral for the universal core light can be built. This may be referring to the establishment of a truly universal church upon the earth, a church which was originally founded on an extraterrestrial world and which has spread and is being spread throughout the galaxy. You are correct in thinking that it will be through the mythological framework that will be built that the true tenets and concepts of the universal cathedral for the universal core light, known also as universal purpose, can be deciphered and isolated by those skilled at the task of the decipherment of extraterrestrial communications embedded within channeled communications. A partial mythological framework for the passing of the teachings and wisdom and tenets and core of the universal religion is being used for multiple reasons. First, the original teachings, tenets, and core of universal purpose have been written in an extraterrestrial language not understandable nor even necessarily directly comprehensible by humans. Thus, the wisdom and teachings have had to be passed by analogy, symbolism, and myth. A direct communication in the extraterrestrial language, with all its multivaried and deep implications, meanings, and nuances, is not possible. A human would not fully understand the core messages if the core messages were sent directly from source to the receiver, since the receiver cannot at present speak the original language nor the universal language. Second, the mythological framework which is to be created will be more workable in regard to the passing to and from human minds and human deep minds than the original source message would have been, because humans have an innate ability to read mythological content and store it in the deeper mind. Whether or not the readings are understood at a purely conscious level, some aspects of the teachings will be clear at the deeper mind levels to deep mind elements. The core canon of universal purpose, as expressed through human universal purpose, will be an extremely important and powerful canon, akin to an extraterrestrial Bible of great depth, profundity, and power. When it is complete, however, it will be a canon of teachings that must be read deeply into for the concealed and deeper meanings pointed at, but not revealed by, the English language human version of the extraordinarily important religious texts to come. The outer layers of the texts will be written in such a way that sincere and inspired humans can begin to access the core inner meanings of the extraterrestrial texts upon which the human translation of the new Universal Bible will be based. But unless readers search deeper than the surface layer of the channeled texts, they shall not reach the purest core meanings and teachings of the original extraterrestrial texts. Thus, those who would successfully study and understand the coming Universal Bible of universal purpose will by necessity be dedicated and intelligent, or at least dedicated and tenacious with moments of inspired wisdom. Thus it is that two of the core tasks of human universal purpose have been revealed at the outset of this new round of communications, which shall certainly proceed for a number of years, if not decades, into the future, at the very least. The receiver is to channel the entire core canon of universal purpose and commit that core canon to writing and other means of communications when possible, such as video. In this way, the core texts of human universal purpose shall be made accessible for the first time to any human who partakes of the messages transmitted by human universal purpose. At the same time, human universal purpose is to assemble as much previously channeled extraterrestrial material as is possible from other humans, in order to store and study the wide and full range of channeled communications from extraterrestrial sources available on the Earth. The function of this second core and foundational task for human universal purpose, the study and recording of the full range of channeled materials from extraterrestrial sources on the Earth, is to find the commonalities among the range of human extraterrestrial channeled material, and the core themes that are expressed thereby. In this task, much important knowledge will be revealed. Write the Universal Bible of the Universal Light Core. Seek, find, record, and analyze the channeled UFO and extraterrestrial texts of the Earth. Discover the universal extraterrestrial mythological Earth core as expressed among humans, then find the link between the UMEC and HST. In this way you shall define the Earth node of the great universal cathedral. The way is set. You and those who align with you shall be blessed in many ways on your path, should you choose to follow this path that has been presented to you. This is the initial core of human universal purpose. Further important tasks will be revealed upon the nearing of the completion of the first two initial cores.